Adobe Audition is going there. Cameras are rolling.
Wow.
I know. It's a beautiful time.
Wow.
It's a beautiful time to be alive,
It's
sir.
a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Is it really a beautiful day in the neighborhood?
Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
All right. Well, as long as it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So which one? All right. Which one were you thinking?
3, 2.
Oh, wait. We're actually going to say at the same time? Or
yeah.
we're not,
And then if they're different, we'll rock, paper, scissors.
Okay. So do your 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Chris
Song.
Rock. Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
I was the second on song.
Really? Okay. So rock, paper, scissors, 3, 2, 1, shoot. And then shoot on shoot.
Boom. And 1, 2, 3, boom.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Boom. Yeah,
Okay.
2, 3, boom.
Just one or best out 3?
2 out of 3.
So best out 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, boom. 1, 2, 3. All right. 1, 2, 3.
No!
1, 2, 3.
Ah!
1, 2, 3.
Ah!
Okay, so Chris Rock.
We could do the song.
No, we're doing Chris Rock.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right.
You know what Will Smith has? Selective Outrage.
Mr. Johnson, we're live.
Well, we're
We're-
live at the Smack.
Well, we're live
before
at
the Smack.
we're live before Smack, but we're officially recording. And congratulations, sir. We have made the transition to video successfully. Or at least we think it's successful. As far as we know, everything is working. This was a lot more complex of a setup than I ever thought, as we took us about 4 hours
Honestly, I don't-
yesterday to set up.
Yeah.
And it is a brand new thing. What the intro is going to look like today, I don't know, because we're not going to be able to hear it. So we're just going to get right into things, because the intros at this point are really undefined with this new transition to video. So hello, everyone. My name is Paul, and this right here is my buddy Aaron, in case you didn't know who that was over there. Aaron, say hi
Hey.
to the camera.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi.
yeah. Don't stare right into their souls. That's not
Can't.
nice to stare into the souls of people on the camera.
Oh, I'm not used to this.
People aren't used to that, and people will kind of freak out a little bit if you just kind of stare into their souls.
But yeah, no. Ooh. That's one thing I've noticed I do just on like the Discord chats with like you and Josh and stuff. I always catch myself looking directly into the
And the way you have the camera is always angled downward, so it's always a little more awkward, because it's like, why is he looking down at me like this? This is weird.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Does it really not?
Well, right now, how you
I don't
have
know.
it today, like angled up like that, is fine. But you've had it angled lower before.
No, it's never. I don't know why it's like that right now, but
Yeah, it's always been lower, and
Yeah.
it's always kind of like you're looking down to your belly button down at us, which I don't think you want to do that going forward, because we're
I don't know anything about camera placement. and
already
stuff.
starting, and already have 3 hours of recordings of other fun stuff that may eventually see the light of day. Not all 3 hours,
Yeah,
just
but
parts of
parts
it.
of it.
And I didn't tell Josh and Aaron yet that I had recorded it yet. Well, I told Josh or Aaron.
You told me. Josh does not know yet.
I told Aaron earlier today about it. I haven't told Josh period
Yes.
about it. But
He'll find out.
anyways, welcome to the first video episode of Use Your Words. I had a deadline to get to video by start of May. So
And we're well on schedule.
we're
I
early.
think.
We're early.
Yeah.
A month and a half early about.
Yeah.
Because of my goal was to record the first episode by the start of May. It is now March 19th, 2023. The cool thing going forward, before when we were doing the audio stuff, and this was for some other reason, why I was kind of date stamping things and saying, hey, blah, 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 we're recording 3/19/2023. Won't have to go forward with that, because guess what? We can date stamp the video now, which is awesome. Put that in the lower right-hand corner and just put that in there on the intro, and we're good to go.
Couldn't you just put a fake date there?
Could, but I also have all the recordings that'll be backed up and everything.
That's true.
It's kind of cool and everything, that how that goes. So we'll see how this goes. This is an adventure for us. This is going to be a brand new way of doing things for us, and it's going to be a brand new way of editing for me. That is for sure.
Mhm.
I am looking forward to a lot of this, and a lot of this is going to be entertaining, to say the least.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I I just now like, now I know with the group chat with you and Josh, how you would send, like, audio clips.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna be getting video clips, I'm sure, too, potentially,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
and I get to see all the greatness that that brings.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
Oh, joy! I'm so excited.
You're so excited, I'm glad, can you just
I'm
hide it a little bit? Just a little bit? Okay, okay.
gonna try.
So today, we're adding into our I guess, extending our repertoire, getting Aaron to think a little more critically about culture, the arts, and society as a whole. And this fits in so perfectly to how society is. I was like, "Yeah, let's do this." What are we doing about? We're talking today about Chris Rock's comedy special. What was it called?
Selective outrage, that's it, yeah.
Selective Outrage. Good job.
Yeah, I remember something.
Good job. So this special is unique amongst the pantheon of comedy specials. The reason being, it was the first one that was live streamed worldwide on Netflix. And now it's available to watch on Netflix whenever you want. Now, the one thing to know is that it has been edited since the original live streaming. And the reason for the edit is Chris Rock misspoke the name of a
Was
movie
it
Will Smith was in
yeah.
at one point. Like, I think he was in the movie. He was in the movie, but it wasn't the movie that caused Will Smith's
Oh!
wife to tell Chris Rock, "You should boycott the Oscars, really."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Will Smith was in both movies. It just what caused the slap was the
Was
wrong movie in the live stream, so Netflix just edited it out, and they do put a label on there, "Streamed live and edited,"
yeah,
when you go to
after
watch
the
the
fact,
special.
yeah.
So I watched this for the very first time because Aaron was like, "Hey, let's talk about this and blah 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 blah." And I was like, "All right, fine. Let's go ahead and do that." And of course, within
Mm.
30 seconds of me starting the video, I had already paused it to write a page worth of notes. And you're like, "What the heck was he doing within 30 seconds of starting the video?" Okay, this sounds weird. He was getting dressed.
Yeah. They did that because I was like, when you were first talking about that, I was like, "You're just talking to the about the point or part where he's, like, just out in the crowd, just like, "Moo," like, getting applause and stuff." I was like, "What's so special about that?" But I forgot the whole, like, wind up to him walking out on
Yeah,
the stage and stuff like that
where he's just,
that.
like, getting his shirt on and getting dressed
Getting
and everything.
prepped.
Yes, getting prepped in that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I talked with Aaron about this earlier, and I know he didn't notice it. So I
Nope.
was like, "Wow, okay."
I already forgot. I still don't even know what this thing looks like.
Alright. So, what I noticed is that right away that he had a necklace on, and he called it well, he didn't call it. He didn't even pay attention to it. I just saw it, and I paused the video, and I was like, "That is Prince's symbol." And I had to look it up. I was like, "What symbol is that?" And it's called love symbol number I told you number 4 before. It's actually love symbol number 2.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh!
Okay, so
Okay, I kinda recognize
this
that
is
symbol.
Prince's symbol. He's actually trademarked or copyrighted this, and it was copyrighted by Prince. It was used on his 1992 cover for his album called Love Symbol. Okay.
Wow.
In 1993, Prince changed his legal name to Love Symbol. Yeah. When asked about this, Prince, when he was alive still, he said, "I've always morphed the female and the male symbol together when talking about the love symbol." Because someone was asking him in an interview about why it looks like this. And if you look at the love symbol number 2 symbol, it's a amalgamation between the traditional male and female symbol that you see to denote the sexes and genders.
Yeah. Goes
So that was something that I found interesting right off the bat. That I paused the episode
I
for and I took a page of notes because I was like, "Wow, that is so fascinating." And now, why did he wear it? People were like, he could be wearing it for a multitude of reasons. More than likely, you know what it was? It was just the fact because he was friends with Prince. Chris Rock was friends with Prince, and he was probably just like, "Hey, you know what? I like this symbol. We were friends. He's dead now. I'm going to now wear it."
Hmm. Hey, yeah. Gosh, so wait, did you pick that up in the picture, in the scene where he's, like, looking in the mirror?
I picked it up in the scene where he's, like, putting on his shirt, his, like, white shirt that goes
Oh,
over the shirt, and then he's kinda, like, looking in the mirror, and you could see it right in there. It's right at the beginning of the special.
like that.
The so what Aaron is doing, show it to the camera, please.
The
Show it to the camera. Yeah.
picture.
So, if you could see that picture there, that
Probably
is
not.
yeah.
Chris
But
Rock's looking at himself in the mirror
that
with
that
the
was one of the final parts, but there's that whole, like, 30 seconds of leading up to that where he's getting
no.
dressed, where he's putting that white overshirt on him, kinda like how I'm wearing this shirt right here.
What?
Yeah, that's what he was doing. He was putting that white shirt over,
Mm.
and buttoning it up, and that's when the necklace
You
was
saw
very
the necklace.
prominent. Yeah, and
Okay.
that's when I stopped, I paused, and
Like, wait a minute.
I know that symbol. Oh, it's Prince's symbol.
I
That's
didn't
why.
you and when you mentioned that, I was like, I totally forgot he was even wearing a necklace. Goes goes to show you how observant I am.
Oh, this is gonna be great then, because I can't wait to hear the rest of your analysis on this then.
Well, well, nothing visual.
Obviously.
Yeah. Besides him, I don't know, yeah. Wha
Besides him what?
I don't know, just walking on stage, that's all I saw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and his little I don't know, whatever steps he does, I don't know. His claps of the hands and
Do you wanna demonstrate these claps of the hands now?
no,
Okay.
no. No.
Alright. So, Chris Rock, unless you've been living under a rock, okay. Wow, that was horrible. Uh, that was almost worse than some of those Doc Talk jokes.
Yeah.
Almost as bad. Anyways,
Mm.
unless you've been living under a rock, Chris Rock is a comedian. He is old. When I say old,
He's an older dude.
he's older than me, thankfully.
Well, yes. He what, is he almost 60?
Yeah. How old is he?
I wanna say 58.
That is correct, sir. He is 58 years old. I'm glad you remember that from
Wow.
last night when we were talking about that on Discord.
We talked about that on Discord?
Yeah, we did, and I have the recording as proof.
Oh gosh. That's terrifying.
The reason I brought that up was, because he's 58, and in his special, he talks about how younger women are cheaper to date than older women, and he's talking about dating a 25-year-old, and I wanted to see if 25 was in the dating role range.
Oh, heck no, not for him.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
So I was like, "Oh, Chris, you're dating outside the range." And then that's what led me to look up his age because I was like, "I think he's too old for a 25-year-old in that range." And if you're not familiar with that range is half your age plus 7 is a generally accepted term for that range. So, congratulations, Aaron. You can date a 21-year-old or older,
Just
which is weird to say.
Yeah. So it makes me feel younger.
It makes you feel younger.
Yeah. I feel
Okay.
so old now that I'm 27.
You know what's even sadder? According to that, I could date a 26-and-a-half-year-old or older.
Huh.
Yeah, I know. That's
Hey,
like,
man.
it ain't gonna happen, bud. It ain't gonna happen. No.
Crap. I can't remember. Oh, nah.
You can't remember what.
I can't remember. I just can't.
Okay.
It's left my mind.
Well,
Maybe it'll come back to me. It was about
maybe.
Chris.
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about this Chris Rock special. There was some things in there. How do I put it?
Raunchy? I don't know.
Raunchy is one way.
Yeah.
The other way was, "Oh, man, Aaron hates this."
Yes.
Why?
The repetitiveness of him delivering his lines, his punchlines.
Yeah, that's the one thing I will say, like,
Ugh.
that whole special could have been about 10 minutes shorter.
He just didn't repeat things 10 times after.
Exactly, he would say a punchline or he'd say something to lead up to a joke,
Can I get some
and
shoes? Can I
then
get
repeat
shoes?
it,
Can I get
repeat it,
shoes?
repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it,
He repeats
repeat
it.
it, repeat it,
Yeah.
repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Bought that many times.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I did it that many times.
It was so bad.
And I just sat there and I wrote in my notes, I was like, I bet you Aaron hates
I
this.
I did. That was like the first couple of times I was like, okay, all right. But then when it just happened again and again,
And again,
it's
and
like
again, and again,
every
and
time
again,
he
and
was
again.
going to a punchline, I'm just like, okay, and I want to hear this however many more times. I was like, all right, get it over with. Yeah, I did not like that part.
Yep.
And it's funny because I talked to a coworker about this special, and he had seen it. He's like, he thought it was okay, like nothing great. But I was like, yeah, I was like, I didn't expect it to be what it was, I guess. I don't know, because
What did he expect it to be?
no, for me.
Oh, what did
I
you
mean,
expect it to be then? Sorry.
he's like, "Was this your first time seeing a Chris Rock, like, comedy segment or whatever?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, then no wonder." I was like, "Yeah, literally the only thing I knew Chris Rock from was pretty much the Madagascar
I was
stuff."
gonna say, were you expecting him to be the zebra from Madagascar for the entire
I was like,
special?
'cause
Is that
that's
what you're expecting?
I guess, well, that and he was in Grown Ups, right? Right?
I
He was
don't
in
know.
Grown Ups? I think
Maybe,
so.
maybe. It's been forever since I've seen Grown Ups. But is that what you expected? Him to be the zebra from Madagascar
Well,
for the entire time?
no, I mean, no, I didn't expect that necessarily, but I was just like, man, just knowing him from being the zebra, and then pretty sure he was in oh, wow, and I forgot about that move,
Which movie?
the Osmosis
Osmosis Jones.
Jones, yeah.
He was also in B Movie.
Wow, okay, I don't remember that one at all, but I
Hmm.
thought wasn't he in I think he's in Grown Ups,
I'll look that up. You continue
but
talking. What were you expecting versus how it
I
was?
don't well, I guess I just didn't I don't I have no idea. I was like, "Oh, maybe he's, like, somewhat more of a family man." And then, obviously alright, so with the folks being, I don't know, watching the Fox Newses, like, a lot of conservative media was, like, coming out like, "Oh, like, he's speaking out against the wokeness," or stuff like that, or
Yeah, sure.
what else was it? Well, it was just the whole victim aspect of it. So I was like, interesting. So I was like, I didn't know what necessarily I was expecting, but I was like, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
knew
interesting.
going into it, it was gonna be rough because I've heard Chris Rock before
Yeah.
outside of his movies. And yes, you are right, he was in Grown Ups.
Just oh, hey,
Congratulations.
yeah.
Yeah, I pulled it up right here.
Thanks.
And that that was a good movie, by the way. Grown Ups 2
Grown
is
ups?
good too.
Yeah, I can't. I'd have to watch them again, but
Well,
I do remember the first one more
they're
so.
not like classics that you keep on on your shelves, but they're good to watch at least once for a laugh.
Oh
But
yeah.
anyways, I've seen Chris Rock clips before outside of his movies, and I was like, "Oh, I'm in for a rough treat on
Oh
this one."
no.
And I was like, "All right, I'll agree to this. We'll see how it goes." Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some things that I I watched and I went, "Wow, okay, he's really calling some of these people out."
Right.
For example, he calls out Michael Jackson versus R. Kelly. He goes, "They're the same crime. One just has better music."
Yeah.
And I was sitting there going,
Yep.
"Ouch."
Yes.
And obviously, you know what the crime is.
Wait, what? No, wait. Yes? I'm sorry. I was getting nervous. I'm scared.
What are you getting
I
nervous of?
don't know. Leave me alone. All right. But
What's the crime?
you're gonna have to edit all of this out now.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
Anyways, what's the crime
I
between
looked it up when I heard it because I didn't know at the time, but 'cause
what we're both accused of?
mhm.
Wow.
Kid stuff.
Right,
That's
okay.
right. Now it's coming back.
Diddling the kids.
Yeah.
Now you remember?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what both were accused of, and like he said, yeah, both he goes, "They both did the same crime, just one's music is better." He goes, "That's why it's acceptable to play his music still," but he goes, "R. Kelly songs come on," it's like, "Oh, well, nope, can't play that."
People can't take it no more.
And I get it, and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, that's a fair assessment of the situation on that." And that's a
Yeah.
fair assessment of how we react in society at times. If we like someone's work of art enough, we will ignore
the past and
Any
stuff
of the
they've done.
problems that they've done.
Did Also, didn't he pull in the Apple or stuff with that one too? Can't remember. Because he made some comment I thought about with like the sweatshops and stuff like that in
Oh,
China.
yeah, he's talking about how you'll go and get your iPhone and that's made by
Yeah.
the
Yes.
child slavery,
Yeah.
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 Also, yeah, yoga pants, I think, as well,
You
so
the Lululemon. I love that name. I've never heard of Lululemon
Oh, you
before. I've
haven't?
never heard of Lululemon.
Oh, girl bosses love Lululemon.
Girl bosses?
Oh, you don't know
Girl
about girl bosses and
No.
that whole society thing? So it's this whole thing with like women who like, oh, I'm going to be my own boss. I'm going to be a girl boss. I'm going to be independent of my work and I'm going to sell my own products and make my own store and everything. And Lululemon is one of those clothing lines that you can do that with.
Oh. Oh.
And
Okay.
so there's this whole thing online of called girl boss,
Yeah.
hunbots, huns,
Hun what? Hun
hunbots.
Hun bots?
They call them hunbots because they all act the same. They all talk the same, you know.
Ugh.
And the reason they call them Huns is what'll happen is, let's say you're a female, Aaron, right?
Yeah.
A random girl would DM you and be like, "Hey, hun, I see how beautiful you are.
Oh
Would
my
you like to
gosh.
sell my product?"
Fabulous.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so that's what they do. That's the Hun bots and the whole Hun thing. And Lululemon is one of those clothing lines that the Huns sell.
Hmm. I just Good
So,
name.
I've heard of this,
Lululemon.
and the thing with the Lululemons is they are supposedly, like, not the best clothing, but
But they're
expensive.
freaking expensive. No, I guess I didn't look it up, but I was like, is he for real on the whole? I mean, I guess I wouldn't be surprised on the $100 sweatpants, but
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
really? I was like, man.
Why wouldn't it be? I mean,
I
seriously,
mean,
if it's a in fashion design,
yeah,
when are they
you're
not
right.
sold for extensive like, look at this,
Just
lightweight stretch running tank top, $78. A running vest, 138
130, but
138
that's
vest.
reflective though.
Okay,
If you don't
how
get
about
that,
these
you don't care
joggers?
about your life if you don't buy that
How
one.
about these joggers that are 138? Joggers, aka sweatpants that you jog in.
They're probably really breathable. I don't know anything about any of this.
Yeah, full on high rise
Belt
pants,
bag.
148. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not a
look,
belt bag, it's a fanny pack.
that looks like your fanny pack.
Shut No, it doesn't. Mine's tan.
They have a tan one here too.
Shut up. No, they do not. No. I refuse to
They call it
believe
raw
this.
linen, but it's
Oh
tan.
my gosh.
So yeah, the whole Lululemon thing was just entertaining as well
They hate
about
poor
that.
people.
Yeah,
They don't hate, they're against hate and discrimination and all that stuff. Now they hate poor people.
right.
Yeah. I thought that was a good one.
And he does have a point with that when he was talking about because they had a sign that, you know, they reject hate, they reject racism, they reject
Yeah.
homophobia, they reject anti-transgenderism, they reject blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And he's like, "Stop making my pants political."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
let's."
Everybody'd rather get like a cheap pair of racist sweatpants versus buying Lululemon for $100 that is against hate.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And he's right, you know, people who don't care about being the trendy fashion people,
Right.
right,
No, they'll spend less
they'll go and
and get
buy,
the
like,
same thing.
you know, the Target brand sweatpants.
Yeah.
What I forget what Target's,
I don't know.
store brand is called.
Wait,
What
they have a store brand?
Oh, yeah, they have a store brand.
Okay.
Target? Yeah, they have a store brand.
I mean, I guess every store almost has their own brand to some degree.
I
It
w
just almost.
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 I will say the Target store brand mixed nuts selection, beautiful, beautiful. What?
I thought you got them from Farm and Fleet.
No, you get
Oh,
them
you
from
get 'em from
Target.
Target?
Yeah,
Oh.
and so, like, they have holiday nuts and everything, and, oh, beautiful. Mm.
I guess I didn't know stores mix their own nuts.
Well, they don't yeah, the as a Target, as a brand, they do.
What they
Yeah,
buy for their
yeah.
mi
So they have,
yeah.
like, like, during Christmas, they have, like, Rudolph's, like, reindeer snack mix, which has, like, M&Ms and M's and all this other stuff within the mixed nuts. My favorite, however,
Can't you
is
just make your own?
my favorite is caramel cashew. It's like balls of chocolate covered caramel with cashews and M&Ms and a bunch of other nuts in there. Beautiful,
That sounds
delicious.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good. Really high in calories, really high in sugar, but it's really good.
But it's
But at
delicious.
least they are not political,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
Lululemon, okay?
Like Lululemon.
And he's right, a lot of things. People don't care about that. I loved how he called out, what was it? Subaru, that was it, where he's like, "Oh, come and
Oh,
buy a Subaru and we'll donate $250 to your favorite
favorite
chair."
charity. He's my favorite charity is me.
And I sat there thinking about that. For a second, I was like, "Wait a minute. Okay,
It's kind of point.
but here's the deal.
Yeah.
If they're the ones donating, right? Do they get the write-off for that donation?"
Oh, Subaru?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "Seriously? You're taking my money,
Right.
you're paying first off, your expensive car as a Subaru.
Yeah.
You're paying for the brand, like Apple. You're paying for the name, okay?
I mean, yeah, it's not as bad as other because they're a German company. I'm
I
pretty
don't know
sure.
I don't know what they are.
Say compared to the other BMW and Porsche,
They're one of
those
those.
are more well. Obviously, those are just more expensive cars. Anywho, yes, so
Regardless,
they're expensive.
so I'm paying for the privilege of buying your car, and then you're gonna make a donation for $250 to my favorite charity, and then
Hmm.
you're gonna have the gall to take the write-off then?
I don't know. Do they? Oh, I mean, probably. I guess it would make
Probably.
sense.
Yeah.
We should go ask.
Unless they say, "Well, it's we're gonna, you know, do it all under you. We're gonna put it under your name and address and Social Security number for this donation." They already got your Social Security if you're doing, financing through them, so don't be all
Oh
surprised and
wait,
shocked.
yeah, yeah.
Be like, "I'm not giving them my
I
number."
can't. I mean, I've given it away for less, I guess.
Yep. Now, so yes, anyway, so he does call that out,
Yeah.
and he does call out as well, like, where he's filmed the special at. So the special was filmed out in Baltimore,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I actually do my research about where we go." He
Where to get cocaine?
yeah, he goes, "Where I should not go
Co
and where I can go to buy coke," and goes, "You those are
is
usually the same place."
normally in the same spot.
And I'm sitting there going,
No
"Well,
dip, Sherlock.
yeah, but I don't know if you caught it through the whole
Probably not.
process, yeah, of his joke telling and that at least from how I listened to it, at least from what I heard,
Yeah.
it sounded like he was saying, "Yeah, I engage in the occasional opioid."
Oh, yeah.
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 I
Okay.
knew he smoked weed, that was an easy one. That
Well,
was easy
I
to tell,
mean,
okay. But just by the
that's a
way he
given.
that's a wow, okay. Making
All
assumption.
celebrities, okay? It's just so obvious.
I wasn't sure where that was going.
I
I
did okay, I honestly did, though, think that throughout his special
uh-huh.
oh gosh, now I'm thinking back on that comment. Oh. But
Why do
anywho,
you think I was like, "I
yeah.
don't know where this is going?"
I didn't think alright, yeah.
Oh,
But,
I was about to have to backpedal for you. Anyways, go on.
no, like, just, like, as especially near the end of the, special got, I was like, "Is he, like, on something just throughout this whole show anyways?" Because it just something with, like, his speech seemed kinda off.
You mean the repeat, repeat, repeat,
Well,
repeat,
okay, yeah,
repeat,
there was
repeat,
that,
repeat.
yeah. Okay, I can see this is so I is maybe that's something he normally does in his other
I don't know.
thing.
I
I've
don't
never
watch his
yeah,
full
I've
specials.
never watched him, but, yeah, this was my first intro. Um, but, like, yeah, I don't know, I was just, like, with this whole thing, especially mainly at the end with, like, Will Smith or whatever, just, like, how he was saying it, it just, like, seemed like I don't know, he was just getting, weird with it, I guess, like, it's just something about the pronunciation just seemed, I don't know, kinda off. I don't know.
Okay.
But yet again, I mean, how long was the special for? And as throughout the whole thing, with that pretty much being his end, I mean, I can understand how talking and stuff like that the whole time, gotta be tough.
Yeah, it is tough
So,
on the throat after you talk for about an hour straight. I know this
yeah,
greatly.
you know,
Anyways,
but
so
yeah,
go on.
no,
Anything
no,
else there?
yeah. So cocaine though, yeah, whatever.
Okay, okay. Now,
Drugs.
he used that to transition into what I thought was one of his best points. of the night. Obviously, it wasn't the abortion stuff. It's where he said this. He said, "Opioids." Well, I can talk.
Opioids?
Opioids are not the biggest addiction in America. It's attention.
Yeah. Yes.
And he's like, and I wrote this. I said,
Interesting.
because he was talking about people on social media getting likes and doing stuff to get
Yeah.
likes. And I was like, oh, that's
Attention.
rich coming from a comedian. I just something I said, right?
Fair.
All right. But he does go on to talk and goes, and one of the ways you can get attention is to be a victim.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Mhm.
I don't agree with like Fox and them saying, "Oh, Chris is speaking out against the woke," because
Right.
we'll get to that in a second on
Yeah.
that. But I just kind of watched it back and just kind of watched and how and then he went on his little tirade and all these white men saying that there are are victims because of all
Oh,
this. I was like,
yes.
"Oh, okay, I see your prejudice." I
Yeah.
was like, "Rock, rock, 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 Mr. Rock, Mr. Rock."
That
I'm only 50% white, so I'm, whatever, whatever, whatever. Okay, but my 50% Mexican in me says is agreeing with you 100%, going right on, brother. But okay, but the fact is, that's a lot of prejudice in there with
Right.
it, and the thing is, prejudice against anyone based on their race, I'm not down for at all. So
No.
so I was like he's like, "Oh, these people going on." But I'm like, "Dude, there is a cultural shift of cultural movement going on in the United States where and let's face it, minorities will eventually not be the minority in America. Eventually, and it might still be 50 years down the road. The
I'll be dead by then.
the you better still be alive. If not, I'm gonna come kill you.
I'll be 70 years old, man. I'm gonna be
I'll be
old.
84, so you better be alive
That's if
still.
we make it.
I'm gonna come kill you if you're not alive then, okay?
I'm gonna kill you if you dead anyway.
Exactly.
Ugh.
But anyways, so, I wrote in here, I was like, "When did white men?" Because he goes, "When did white men become victims?" I was like, "Oh, okay, he's just showing his prejudice on it." In about 50 years or so, like I said, whites will be the minority, minorities will be the majority. And then it'll be interesting to see because right now, we're in a different state of history than we ever have been. In the olden days, when I say the olden days, 1700s, 1800s, early 1900s, right? We have history books about what happened, but we don't have a ton of video, not until video started becoming more widespread. Now we have the internet. Everything is recorded and put on the internet. Hello, internet. Okay. Everything is there for historical purposes. We can timestamp it. We can look at it. We can analyze it. We can see what was going on. What's gonna happen in 50 years? This would be interesting. Obviously, we're not gonna be able to
Deep
analyze it as
face.
well, but when that flips, all of a sudden, will they ascribe everything that they're ascribing to minorities now? "Oh, we have to da 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 da," to the
Oh, gotcha,
whites?
gotcha, gotcha. Yeah.
If
I hope
not
not.
if not, then I say that's prejudice and that's racist, and that should not be tolerated.
Right.
Because if you go, "Well, my race is in the minority, so therefore I need this," but
But
then
they
you
say no.
flip it and it's like, "Oh, no, 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 I still need that because of the history." Then no.
Yeah.
Now, I am not calling or saying in any way, and I want that to be crystal clear, that there should be any prejudice, there should be any
Oh,
racism towards another person of a different minority, a different race, a different religion, a different whatever, okay? I don't care what sort of labels you have where you go, "Oh, I am differently abled." Okay, fine. That's cool.
differently what?
Differently abled, that's a thing
Abled?
now.
Oh. Oh, yeah, ableist
Ableism.
ableism
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm like, I don't care about all that. Here's what I care about. Who are you as a person?
I don't know.
Who are you personally? Who are you? What's your character like? Because guess what? That's more important than can you run a 100-meter dash or not? Because guess what? I definitely cannot run that.
I mean, maybe just longer than others.
Either that or I just fall flat on the ground
Just-
and then go, okay, well, Aaron, guess what? You get my inheritance now.
Bet.
Oh, bet, huh?
So don't go out running 100 meters, okay?
Let this be a video testimony that if I die, Aaron gets nothing.
No! Dang it!
I'm
I'm gonna
kidding.
let myself out.
I'm kidding.
Ah.
Aaron would try to kill me since he does inherit everything of mine. So something I found interesting throughout
Yes.
this entire special.
Yeah, what was that?
One, the word that cannot be said by anyone unless you are of, the African American minority.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was just repeated. I tried to keep tally, and
I
then I
imagine.
lost track.
Really?
Like,
Oh, no, yeah, I guess he did say a lot,
there was,
I
like,
suppose.
there's, like, one I forget where it was, like, near the middle of the special, but I had closed captioning on. It was 2 lines of just that one word over and over
Was
and
it
over, and I'm
really?
just like,
No.
"Oh, yeah, oh, okay, I'm done. I can't keep track of this." Okay, so that was going on,
That much, wow.
and I was like, "Make a white comedians," and he even made fun of that too. He goes, "All you white folk here," he goes, you can't go say this at any of these jokes at work tomorrow."
Yeah.
I was like, the why is it acceptable for you, sir?" And then people go, "Well, because it's culturally."
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
we're not gonna be on the same page, so we're not gonna have this conversation. We will just go our separate ways and agree to disagree. Okay.
Yeah. Ugh, gosh, yeah.
But then so that happens, right? And then I noticed something that was interesting. Did you catch it?
Probably not.
He goes, "Are you gonna have a Steph Curry baby or a Draymond Green baby?" And I said, "What the heck?" And so I had to do a little research at what that meant. Because he was talking about, at this point, Meghan Markle and how Meghan Markle was crying racism.
About how the royal family, they're asking how brown the baby's gonna be,
Yep.
and yeah.
And he was going, "Well, we" I'm
For the
paraphrasing and
black
quoting him.
community, we're asking the same question.
Yeah.
How brown is this baby gonna
And I
be?
was like, "What the heck? This is a thing?" And then
I yeah.
he mentioned those 2 names. I was like, "Who and what?" And so I was like,
'Cause
"Okay."
it's just like the level of
Of melanin in the skin,
yeah.
which drives me nuts that there's a
There's
differentiation.
actually gosh, yeah.
So, if you're not sure who Stephen Curry is, Steph Curry, he's pretty light skinned. I have him up on the screen here for
Yeah.
Aaron. He's pretty light skinned
Yeah.
and everything, it and
Yeah.
and people are gonna go, "Oh, he's,
I'm
I'm sure
hungry.
you've heard uh, this statement before that you can be passing. I've had that statement thrown at me before as well, and my brother has too. They're like, "Oh, you can be passing as a white people."
Because of how yeah, your
Yeah,
skin too light,
yeah,
and then, yeah,
and then you
Draymond
have Draymond
Green,
Green on the very opposite side of that, who's
opposite side of the spectrum.
has a lot of melanin in his skin.
Yes, he does.
Both of them are basketball players. That's cool
Oh,
for
is he
them.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
both of them are.
I
Steph
didn't know
Curry
that.
and Draymond Green. So, I was like, "Hey, good on them. They're probably getting a decent amount of money for doing that."
But probably, yeah.
So, we'll see about that, but I just found that interesting that that was part of the conversation in the special. I was like,
Well,
"Okay."
she's had to have had her kid by now, right?
Oh, yeah, Marcos.
Right? Okay, I was
Yeah,
like, 'cause that
Marco
was, like, forever ago.
yeah, Merkel's had her kid, her husband's
Yeah.
written a book, and
They have a Netflix special too.
yeah, of course, and an Oprah
Wow, you
special.
can watch that? Oh gosh.
I will
Oprah.
veto.
We are not going over this. Okay, thank you. I
I am
didn't
not
want
giving her
to.
any more time or fame or anything like that.
They got all they needed
Yeah,
and more. Yeah.
yeah, and then obviously going on through this rest of the special, and this just tells you where we're at in society as you're going through it, and so I know these are jokes, but jokes have some truth in them.
Well, that's one, like, side of comedy that I never, like, I guess, thought of, where I've heard it more well, especially, um, like, from segments of Crowder and, like or just, like, Dave Landau, where they like, a lot of comedy is actually there's some truth to it.
Mhm.
That's what makes it even more funny. I'm like, "Whoa."
Yeah, in that case, listen to this, I was just like, I'm not finding the humor in a lot of this.
Yeah.
For example,
Which one?
this one, Chris Rock going, OJ getting acquitted for murder of 2 white people is black excellence. And I just wrote, that was and then he goes, oh, and that was before Wakanda.
Yes.
And I was like, "I know
Um,
you're joking. I know you're doing humor, you're trying to make fun, you're trying to get a message across,
yeah.
but here is my" and I've said this before, my litmus test. If a white person was to say that, how would that be taken? If
Well, it
I th
depends on the crowd you're talking
if I threw you,
to.
Mr. Johnson, in front of
Yes.
that same crowd that Rock was talking to,
Oh,
and I gave you the script line for line,
I would need security.
okay,
Probably. That would be my guess.
and that's what I just was like, "Okay, yeah, I see what we're dealing with," and he continues on through the special,
Mhm.
because then you talk because then he started talking about if his dad transitioned to a woman. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
And I
Yeah.
found something interesting in how he addressed that with his family. Did you catch that?
He made it sound like was what would have been his brothers were like, like refused to have anything to do with him, but he would be the one to be like,
Yeah, but did you notice how he grouped and classified everything? He goes
"Oh,
he goes,
maybe not."
"I'm an artist. I'm an artist. I'm reasonable. I'm accepting. I'm compassionate. My brothers,
That's right.
they drive trucks.
Trucks. That's right.
They're bigoted.
They're
They're
truckers.
unacceptable."
Yeah. Classifying people, huh?
Basically, he's saying, "I'm an artist. I love and accept everybody, but my blue collar working brothers, they're just bigots."
Yeah.
And I just sat there and I'm going, "That is interesting how he classifies things." And
Yeah.
it's again, going back to that concept of there's some truth behind everything.
Mhm.
There's some truth there where he's going, "Us in Hollywood, we're artists. We will accept and we'll do everything." Because he goes, "If my dad transitioned, I would accept him right away." No, no.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, "Oh, okay. You're trying to virtue signal here in your comedy." And that's
Yeah.
exactly what you're doing. You're virtue signaling that you are above everyone. You are so good.
He was special,
Yeah, that's a way.
pretty much. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I mean, that does seem to be a very popular thing among the artist industry, whether it be music, comedy, stuff like that. I mean, I suppose they're probably more so known to be into, I don't know, stuff that outside the box compared to the norms, I guess.
I can't wait till August Burns Red comes out with their Acceptance of All album because they are artists.
I don't like I don't like you anymore. Mm,
So, and so there are other things that stuck out to me about this special. I don't know if there's anything else that stuck out specifically to you. Otherwise, I can continue on with these things that have stuck out to me. I also have some quotes that he said that I just thought were entertaining and interesting.
mhm.
So, anything in particular that stuck out with you before I continue on?
Um, I did think it was interesting, like the stories with his daughters.
Which ones, particular?
All of them, no. Um, no, it was like kind of just the whole how he raised them. I thought it was an interesting, like, I guess, progression through all of that, where like, he'd do anything for his daughters, sort of thing, super spoiled, like all this other stuff. But then at some point he realized they need they need to be corrected, sort of thing.
Mhm.
I was like, I don't know, I thought that was quite the interesting, I guess,
Was
little
it
segment there.
was it convicting?
No. No, it wasn't. Shoot, but now,
Should
oh
have been.
gosh, what am I doing to my nephews? Oh no.
It should have been.
It should have been.
Your mother and father shouldn't baby you so much.
They'll baby me. They don't do nothing, baby me. What are you talking about? Hey, that's all I paid for that. Okay. I paid for all that. The only thing I didn't pay for is the house.
Go on.
But no, I just saw I don't remember 'em, all, but just some of the stories about, his daughters and stuff like that, mainly with the school where they got kicked out, and I think that was where he had that kinda like moment where he's like, my daughters can get away with anything because, well, one, he's a celebrity
Yep.
kind of thing. So it's just like, yeah, it must be real tough, huh? But I guess I am glad that he had that realization where it's like his daughters actually needed to like learn something.
See, part of me wonders in that story if he was just trying to stick it to his ex-wife because his ex-wife was on
True.
as like, "We need to sue the school, we need to da da da," and part of me
Yes.
goes, "Is he just being a bitter divorced man?" Just being like, "No."
Very well could be too. Yeah. Cause then I did find that also funny how he's like, yeah, like one of the things he had said is like, my wife is gonna hear this literally on this special because
Yeah,
he's never
and
said it
and
to
his
her.
wife's lawyer,
Yeah.
which I'd be more scared of, but
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. And yeah, which also led into all the I don't know, the stuff that really kind of just I didn't care for with how um getting into like abortion talk kind of stuff, which I mean, I like kind of how and I believe but how he called it out for still what it is, where he tells it. He doesn't change what it is.
right, so he does call abortion murder. He does say,
Yes.
"Let's be honest, we're killing babies."
But he's still all for it.
Right, and this I wrote down. He jokes about getting a punch card at the abortion clinic for a
Yeah.
free smoothie, cause and there's a
Yeah.
quote that I wrote down of his here. He says, "I've paid for more abortions than any woman."
That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a huge claim. That's
I
kinda gross. That's
it's
where I was just like, "Man, that's
something I
nasty."
noticed though when he said, "I believe women should have the right to kill babies," and then at some point, and I hope it's a joke, I do hope it's a joke, where he goes, "Up to that first report card of, like, 4 years old." I was like, "Ooh, that's a
After
little."
the up to the fr
First report card that they get from school.
Oh, yeah.
But when
Yeah.
he said, "I believe women should have the right to kill babies," I don't know if you caught this or not, but, like, a lot of his jokes, most of the audience was laughing.
Yeah, that one.
It was very just like a little spattering of laugh.
Yeah.
And there were other news articles that called that out too, like, "Oh,
People didn't like that one.
it was just like, oh, okay, yeah." Now,
Yeah.
something else I noticed as well, and this is and right shortly after this moment in the thing, this is where I wrote my note of must have drove Aaron nuts, all the repeats. So we're about at the 44-minute, 20-second mark, about thereabouts, a little bit before that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught what he did on his leg. He did what everyone on the internet, we all know is a hoax. He did the okay sign on his leg, and you know, like, as he's talking, it's upside down, the okay sign upside down on his leg, that if anyone ever
I'm gonna
does
have
on the
to
internet, people go, "That's a white supremacy
That's a white
dog whistle,"
power.
and
Yeah.
all that. And I just find it funny that about 44 minutes, 20 seconds in on the edited version on Netflix, he's talking, and he does it on his left leg with his left hand while the mic's in his right hand, and he's talking, like, bent over forward a little bit. I just found it funny.
I'm gonna have to watch that again, watch back on that. I don't remember catching that now.
Yeah, it just things I observe while watching the thing, because part of me was just like,
Analyzing everything.
yeah, exactly. But at the same time, part of me was just kinda cringing over all these
Yeah.
jokes.
Yeah.
Now, he did say something I'll agree with 100%,
Mhm.
and this was a quote that I'm taking from him, okay? He said and he's talking about politics and that, he goes, "Republicans lie, and
Oh,
Democrats leave out key pieces of truth."
yeah.
It's like,
Okay.
yeah, 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 that is true. And then before he talks about the slap heard round the world, at least on TV and in social media, okay?
Yeah.
It's not like the shot heard around the world.
No, it's just the
You know
slap.
you know what the shot heard round the world is, right?
It's a song.
What is it in history?
I don't remember. But I remember it's a very important thing because it's the shot heard around the world. It's a song by Disciple, though.
See, now people can see my distress.
No.
The shot heard around the world. It refers to the opening shot of the Battle of Lexington Concord in 1771, 75, which began the American Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
That is the shot heard
That
around the
is
world.
the shot.
The slap heard around the world is Will Smith slapping him, Chris Rock, which after watching this special,
Yeah.
I might just put that in the loop and just watch it for hours on end for entertainment.
With the slap?
I'm kidding.
I was like, "Jeez." Well, I mean, I get it, yeah. I understand.
Yeah. So anyways, before he gets to talk about that, he does talk about younger women are less expensive to date. And I just sat there for a second. I
No, they're
go,
not. I mean, okay, maybe. That
and I'm
I
just,
mean, yeah.
but the two things that he uses to compare, they're pretty extreme examples. He compares the cost of shoes versus
To
the
a roof.
cost of a roof.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, shoes, you need maybe every few months to once a year. Okay. My last pair of shoes lasted me like a year and a half, but that's beyond. Let's not talk about that. That was me being lazy and buying new shoes.
I mean, well, guess one, it depends on how many pairs you have
One
and how often you yeah,
every day.
yeah.
And we're not even gonna talk about the number of holes they have.
Well, that's hey,
Okay.
means well worn. Getting every cent out of it, you know?
Oh yeah, so much so that the soles were pretty much smooth.
It's dead.
Yeah, if I would have gone on ice with those, yes. Anyways, shoes versus a roof, which you replace like once every 10 years. And yeah, that a roof is expensive.
D yeah.
Let's not be coy about it. It is pretty expensive.
I mean, it depends on also how big your roof is, but
Regardless,
still
it's still expensive.
more than a pair of shoes.
So that's why I was like, shoes versus roof. I was like, that's pretty extreme examples there. But I get what he's saying. He's trying to be like, well, that, and then he's like, well, and what's the payment for these shoes and blah blah blah. And I was just like, ah, this joke is just going downhill quickly. No, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the older you are, the more you're gonna how more expensive you are. I mean, because you got a lot more responsibilities to take care of.
Do you know, Aaron? Do you?
No, not yet.
Do you?
I don't want any. My roof is gonna be cardboard.
That doesn't meet state standards at all.
Well, I mean, I don't need to cover a whole house with it.
What are you gonna cover?
Uh,
Your box?
yes.
Which means you'll have no drums,
I
no
know.
guns,
Well,
no
no,
possessions
I'll have drums.
in your box.
No. No, no, no. I mean, the world can be my drum. Everything can be a percussion instrument.
No comment.
I mean, why do you think you got street performers? They can turn anything into drum stuff. So, I at least got that going.
I'm glad people can see my disappointment now.
Yeah. Is something wrong with that, Paul?
Put on a happy face. Don't show the tears anymore.
Look what I've done. I'm a terrible friend.
And I found my intro.
Oh gosh. Perfect.
Yeah. So, yeah. So he talks about that for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I personally, as I'm going through it, I'm like, did he just throw this in here to pad time in the special? Because I couldn't find a connection with the rest of it. Because a lot of the special, he called it Selective Outrage, right? But a lot of the special tied into the theme of that Selective Outrage. I
Right.
couldn't find the tie-in theme here. I was like, is he just padding or did he forget part of his performance? Is he old and is he forgetting things?
This is mine going. Yeah.
So
Well, with maybe all the drugs he's been doing, probably.
and so I was just like, "Okay, fine, whatever." This is where I need to be honest here. The last, like, 20 minutes of the special, I fought to stay awake.
Oh, really? Yeah.
3 different times I fell asleep in the last 20 minutes. I would start watching it, fall asleep, wake up when they start doing the applause at the end, rewind,
Oh, try to watch it and
fall asleep, and I was like, "Seriously? I cannot get through this." But the last thing I remember from the special is the slap heard round the world on the internet, or AKA him being slapped by Will Smith.
such a peak part of his career, probably.
Oh, yeah. And what was interesting is he made fun of, like, the size difference between him and Smith.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
And he's like, "And even in the cartoons, he's bigger than me.
Yeah.
He's a shark and I'm a zebra." I was like, you do realize, like, that series where he was a shark as a cartoon did not do so well as a movie.
No,
Madagascar did way
much better
better.
than well, yeah.
So, in a way, Chris Rock, you are bigger than Will Smith because you did better
Well,
on that regard.
on a one movie.
Also, who was in Grown Ups and who wasn't?
Well, that's just because Will Smith isn't funny. Just kidding, he probably is. I enjoyed The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, yeah, and they've done a reboot of Fresh Prince.
No.
It's called Bel-Air,
Nuh-uh.
but it's, more it's like a serious dramedy now, not a comedy, it's more like a serious.
Dramedy?
Yeah.
That's a new one.
Oh, you've never heard
A
of dramedy?
drama comedy?
Yeah, a dramedy.
That's awesome. I
So
like
it's
that.
but it's more a serious dramedy.
Mm. So where's the comedy?
I don't know, I haven't watched it. I
I
just
didn't even know it was a thing, so,
yeah, it's called Bel-Air. It's a reboot. I think it's on HBO
I
or Paramount.
probably
One
gonna
of
go to
those,
those soon anyways.
one of those. Anyways, regardless of fact, that was the one thing
Yeah.
I watched about it, and he was trying to give his spin on why the slap happened. He was talking about how Will Smith was in a movie that didn't even get, like, a Oscar nod. He wasn't nominated at all,
Yeah.
and then Will's wife was like, "Well, my husband didn't get nominated, so therefore, Chris, you shouldn't host the Oscars."
That's
Mm,
her voice.
yeah, exactly. I have no idea what her voice
I
sounds like.
did. Oh, man. Yeah.
I have no idea what her
I'm the
voice sounds
same.
like, so but anyways, and Chris is like, "Well, I'm not gonna give up my hosting this job because your husband didn't get nominated for something he sucked in."
Right.
Essentially his summary.
Yeah.
I'm summarizing here, and he's like, "I'm just doing a joke, and everyone thinks Will Smith is a bleep and bleep and bleep,"
Yeah. Everybody.
and I was like, "Oh, yeah, everyone thinks that's the case." Now, I don't agree with Will Smith just getting up, standing up, and going, "Whap!"
I mean, yeah.
But at the same time, did Rock push it too far? Probably, but guess what
Well,
comedian
obviously for Will.
guess what comedians tend to do?
Push buttons.
They try to push buttons and push the envelopes just a little bit.
Yeah.
And so they did that, and he did that, and that's what happened. And it was like,
Right.
"All right, cool." And then he talks about the Will Smith thing just for a little while, the last, like, bit of it,
I
everything.
I mean, I can't remember how we went about it, but where he had mentioned it's like no one has had their ex like or I guess like talk to you about who they cheated on you with in front of you on live television sort of
Right.
thing. I was like, yeah, that's kind of rough.
Well, there was that. I think what he was referring to is when his wife on her podcast, like, video thing, like we're doing now, video
Yeah.
thing, she had Will Smith on and basically interviewed him about her cheating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the much better way to
And
put it.
how would you like
Yes.
that, Aaron? You got married and your wife goes, and she's sitting next to a guy, and she goes, "I cheated on you with this guy. What
Wait,
are your
was he
thoughts?"
there for it? I guess I don't
N I
remember that.
don't I
Oh,
don't
okay.
think he was. I
I
don't
didn't think he was
I
there.
didn't
I
think he
mean,
was there, but
that dude would have been in trouble.
but she goes, "Hey, what do you think about that, Aaron?"
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, not too good about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that would be extremely tough
Now this
to
was
keep yourself together.
this was one line that I heard twice in the special that I laughed at. This was the only time I laughed,
Oh
the entire
no.
special.
Oh no. Okay.
Why you
I'm a
go
terrible person.
why you
I
go,
laughed more than twice.
"Oh, I only laughed twice." Okay.
Okay.
And it was for the same line, so
Yeah.
A was repeated, so you probably were
I probably hated it.
yeah.
Just
And he said, and I quote, "Don't need to get a rapper mad at me."
don't need to get a rapper mad at me. Because I mean, I know Will is a rapper.
Exactly,
You
and
know?
that's what he was referencing because he didn't wanna get slapped again.
God.
He said that twice.
Yeah, I definitely do remember him just making, like, little subtle comments that would involve Will somehow in there. I was just like, "Nice."
Yep. I personally, the way I looked at this special was this. It was Rock smartly trying to capitalize on the slap.
Yeah.
That's really what it was. He was trying to capitalize on the slap that occurred because it was
I mean, obviously, it's a huge deal.
it's popular. It's in everyone's mind. It was all over the news when it happened. It's still people talk about when Chris Rock does something, they go, "Is he gonna address the slap? Is he gonna address?" He
The
addressed the
slap.
slap. He addressed the
The
slap in
slap.
the special. They're all about it. Like the slap was mentioned, it was addressed. When Will Smith does something, they'll go, "Will, what do you think about the slap? Are you gonna address the slap? Your reaction to the slap?" Blah, blah, blah. So it was
Yeah.
smart of Rock to do that, included in there and
He's a
kinda lead
moneymaker
up to it. And it is a moneymaker, and that's why I was like, I think this whole special was just capitalizing on the
on the
slap.
slap.
He's going
He wasn't just doing his job.
his
I
job
mean,
can be
I
whatever.
don't know, yeah.
And he's going, "Well, it's selective outrage because Will doesn't get mad about this, but he got mad about this." I'm like, "You know
I
what?"
mean, when you cut that personal into somebody's life, might not always take it so well.
Right. And I look at it this way. I go, "And you, sir, would you have some selective outrage?" I'm saying, "Sir," like Rock, sir.
Yeah.
Would you have some selective outrage if someone did something to one of your daughters or to one of your
Oh,
family members?
yeah, or yeah, joked about something very personal
So I was like
and painful.
you going on with this, I was like, "I get it. I get it completely. I don't agree with it at all with what Smith did,
Yeah.
but for that's why I said he's capitalizing on it. He's making a buck on it because he knows people will want to talk about it. And look, we're talking about it. And
Yeah,
because
a lot of people have talked about
a lot of people are
it.
talking about it. A lot of people in culture are watching it, talking about it. It hit. It wasn't like the top 10 for a while on Netflix of things watched. So a lot of people know about it, have watched it,
Yeah.
like it.
I mean, I literally got Netflix to watch that special, so
I'm glad I get it free from my cell phone provider.
Nice. Yeah, I gotta cancel that soon because I don't make use of any of
Oh man,
that.
you're like my mother. You and her are both canceling Netflix at the same time.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
no. No. Well, I mean, why spend money on it if I'm not using it?
That's the same
D
exact logic she used.
but it makes sense, doesn't it?
I'm just saying that because to screw with you. That's all.
Mm.
So
I am not the one.
any other things you want to say about the special? I've gone through all my notes and all my things. All I would say is this. I would not watch this again. I would not take the time to watch it again myself, personally.
I mean,
If you wanna watch it, that's fine. That's your call. But for me, I'm like, "You know what?
well, I wanna watch it again now just to pick up on the stuff that you noticed, that obviously I was way too oblivious to notice.
Sir, remember when we were going out to Christmas Burns Red? We were at a Wendy's, and you almost got 2 full meals because you were not paying attention to the screen that said 2 full meals. Now,
Yeah.
to be fair, you did say sandwiches only, but the person responding didn't pick that up properly, and you almost
They
got
charged me for 2 whole meals.
yeah. So don't tell me that you're oblivious. I know this.
I
I am fully aware
know.
of this. This is not something that surprises me in the least.
This is why I gotta watch it again. Ugh,
And what are you gonna do with that new knowledge? Go slap someone?
probably Josh, yeah.
All right. Bet.
Bet? He said bet? I'll do it.
All
I'll do
right.
it.
Anything else, sir?
Um, no, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. At
All
least
right.
not looking through here. I mean, y'all done covered everything. Well, oh, okay. No, there's a stupid, disgusting joke that I didn't get with Elon. That was gross.
Yeah,
That was
I know
dumb.
exactly what joke you're covering. I
Yeah.
have no way to cover that where I don't feel gross at the end. So
Yeah, that
let's
was
not
yeah, no.
let's not even talk about that one. If you don't know what
Great
that is,
great
go
family show. Don't watch that with kids.
yeah, do not,
No.
especially the Elon segment.
Yeah, that was gross.
Surprised you didn't get it, but
Huh?
I'm surprised you didn't get it, but yeah, regardless. It's okay. All right. It's all good.
What? I didn't get it. What did I do? What?
You're talking about the Elon joke?
Yeah.
Yeah, surprised you didn't get it, but that's okay.
I didn't get what? Oh no. I'm lost now. I'm lost in
It's
it.
okay. It's okay.
Okay.
'Cause never mind. We're not gonna
We
talk
can talk
anything.
about this off air. Unless not.
I don't
If it's
know.
better not to, then that's fine with me.
I don't know, sir.
Yeah,
That
that
one
was the other man. I just some of the raunchiness and stuff with
but yeah, but that's a
this
Chris
one.
Rock thing. That's,
Yeah. So that was a definitely a rough first introduction to him.
alright then. Well, if nothing else, then we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up, and then what are you going "Phew" for?
Woo! First one's done.
First one's done, and many more to come on season 3 of User Words Podcast.